Hello and welcome, guys, to today's video. Today we're going to be inking what we drew yesterday, and as you can see, I did a little bit more to the drawing last night. As I have that started to sort of do that in the afternoons and the evenings now, as I'm not gaming so much. I am gaming in the afternoon. Got the VR system still sorted out. So yeah, hopefully you've been catching up with the games and keeping up with that. But and the animal, which picked from we will do it over on Instagram, or we will do it WT or something like that. Let me know what your name is in the comment section down below, bud. And I'll shout out next time. But yeah, we got a request of a animal mixture or a mutation of a lion, a crocodile, and a penguin. And as you can see here, we've already done the sketch, and today is going to be the inking stage. As on Tuesdays we always do the inking, on a Monday we always do the sketch ideas, and then on Wednesday we always do the colouring in of the paper version. And then Thursday and Friday comes and we get on with the digital version. I will record that, guys. That won't be live, but I will find out a way of how I can do that in the future. But otherwise, keep tuned, guys. We're going to be continuing on with this line. Like I said yesterday, I changed it a little bit. I've kept the penguin sort of shape because the penguin's just round. A penguin's just like a bottle of wine with a bit of jelly in there. A penguin. There you go. But the lion's a little bit more different. Yeah, there's a bit of a mane, so I'll try to keep that mane in there. I tried to give it a beak. I didn't know if I wanted to give it a beak or a nose, so I give it both. There's his nose there, and it's sort of going into a beak there. Standing on a rock with the crocodile's tail and powerful back legs here, and the lion's tail up here. I did do a bit of scenery as well. Not too much. I just it looked a bit bland with a big giant rock there, so I sort of changed it up a bit, but give it a few layers, and we'll maybe sediment layers. I don't really know. It all to do with geography, guys. If you have ever did it, I did it in school. I think I got C in geography. Actually, it wasn't too bad. And I did some water here, some flash up or sea spray. So yeah, we've got a lot of that done now. My hands are already covered in pencil, as you just saw there. So this is going to be inking today, guys, and then all of the sketch lines will probably be removed. Some of the sketch lines, these are just basically ideas, and ideas. They're what they're called, construction lines. That's the one. With my construction lines here, I'll use my inking pen, and we'll get on with that. But first, I want to say thank you for joining me. My name's Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games, here every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram. And you can see I've got my onesie on again. Don't judge me. I like my onesie. It's nice and warm, and it's a bit chilly outside today, so I thought I'd stick it on instead of putting a load of layers of jumpers on. So yeah, we'll get on with this. Sort the camera out, and I'm going to be listening to Comicstorian once again in the background, and we're going to be continuing on where we left off from yesterday, where we had the TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we're going to get those going, and yeah, we'll get on. I'm going to just get over this. The music in the background is so when I don't talk, you've still got something to listen to, but you will always see what I'm drawing as I go along. So keep tuned, guys, or if you want to see how it turns out and you're watching back, fast forward to the end. Don't forget to click the links at the end of the video. That will take you to many other playlists and other videos that I would like you to check out. Otherwise, keep watching and enjoy. Leave any comments down below in the live chat section, or you can come over to Instagram. Again, I'm Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games, here every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram.
Can the Turtles fight off Shredder if Leonardo is on his side? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images, art of the copyright.
This is my favorite pen. You would have seen this pen by now. It's a 0.7.0. Hang on. I know it's something. Yeah.
Thinking that his former sensei and father, Splinter, was actually an evil master. As time passed, the Foot Clan's operation continued. One night, Karai oversees a shipment getting ready to go out when she's suddenly attacked by Savant. Karai begins to fight back, telling everyone that they will not let them pass, but a Foot Clan soldier tells her that they are soon to be out.
Yeah, you're Unibus 0.7. I don't know. It should tell me somewhere, but I can't find it.
Starts to surround her,
Perhaps
telling
I've
her
taken
that
it
her
off.
men
But yeah,
will
let's just get inking. I'm going to be going around,
greater.
basically going over the whole thing with this ink pen and listening to some comic story.
The leader smiles at her. Oh, will I? Then he hears a voice above him telling, yes, he will. Above him stands Leo and a group of Foot Clan soldiers, and Leo tells them to destroy. The Foot Clan starts to overwhelm the Savant, and they begin to kill them off, and that's when Karai raises her sword to kill the leader. But Leo stops her, telling her that they need him alive to deliver a message. Leo leans in and tells him, pay very close attention. The Foot will no longer tolerate disobedience, not from you or anyone else. So go tell your leaders that if they disobey Master Shredder, they will face an all-out war. Elsewhere in the city, Raph questions some criminals that did some work, telling them not to play stupid with him. The criminal tries to state that he doesn't know what's going on, and then the criminal's partner jumps in to try and attack Raph, and Raph just turns to kick him down. The first criminal stands up, breaking a board over Raph's back, and he turns back, grabbing that man by the throat, asking him, didn't I just warn you about being stupid? Raph says he remembers seeing him and his buddy making deals with a Foot and a Savant, so it's time for them to talk. The man tells them that they're just small fish. They don't know anything worth knowing. But he can tell him about the guys who are heavy-duty players, much bigger fish for Raph to go after. They might have some information that he's looking for. Whatever's been going on in this city is huge, and it goes all the way to the top. Back in the alley where the Foot Clan are getting ready for their shipment, Victor, the leader of the Savant, finished clearing out the last Foot Clan member when Marcelio, a member of one of the families, pulls up. Marcelio tells him that the families are calling a meeting right now and he needs to come with them. Later, in the office, members of the families gather around a table where Antonio, head of the families, tells Victor he said that once he took over the Savant, he would be making some big changes, but they didn't think that the Savant would be in any worse off standing. With his aggressive
I'm just using basic standard tools now, guys, and basic ideas. I've already drew out what I want to sort of colour in and ink today. So yeah, I'm just going to be basically copying what I've already done. I may put a few details here and there as I go along, but I pretty much did all the detailing that I wanted to do yesterday off screen. If you want to see that stage of the drawing, guys, let me know in the comment section, because I tend to do it over like a couple of hours when I'm doing the detail, because I'll do the main sketch and then I'll do the sort of detailing afterwards. But if you want to see how I do that, guys, you can ask me in the comment section and I'll do all that live again. But what I found is I was live for like 3 or 4 hours and nobody really wants to watch a 4-hour video. So that's why I've stopped doing it for so long.
And Leo asks if he may go. Then as he turns back from looking at Karai leaving, he sees something when he looks at Shredder and Katsuni. Shredder tells him that he may go, and as he leaves, a foot soldier appears, stating that there has been an urgent delivery from Victor of the Savant. Shredder opens up the box, and both he and Katsuni look down. He says that it seems their foe has made their decision, and inside of the box is a severed foot soldier hand with a note attached to it, stating war. On the other side of the city, Splinter visits Hob in his home, explaining the situation with Leo. He will stop it, but his family does not possess the resources necessary to confront the Foot Clan. Splinter continues to look at all of the guns on the racks, and he says that maybe Hobbs can provide some help. Hobbs laughs, stating that he knew he had the smarts enough to figure out a mutant army was a good idea. But if you want my help, Splinter, there's going to be something that you have to do for me first, because now you're messing with the big guns. Back with Raph, Raph follows up on the leads the criminals gave him to 2 crooked cops. But as he holds his side of one's neck, telling the man that he'll tell him where the Foot Clan is hiding, he's quickly pulled away. The cop looks back to see what happened, and he sees a figure in the shadow telling him that they should totally run, dudes. In the alley where Raph was pulled off to, Johnny tells Raph that he's getting out of control, and Raph begins to shout that he will show him out of control. And then Mikey steps in, pushing him back, telling him to knock it off. He's sick of everyone fighting like a bunch of babies, and Raph is being the biggest one. He and Donnie spent the whole day cleaning up his messes all over town, and Raph just tears through things. Raph turns around sulking, telling everyone he knows. It's just this whole thing is his fault. If he didn't let Casey get taken by Shredder in the beginning, none of this would have happened. Donnie tells Raph that sometimes bad things just happen. That's life. And right now, it's time for them to be the team that Leo made them into. That's the only way that they're going to save Leo. Raph realizes that Donnie's right, and the three of them begin to head back home. Elsewhere, Shredder begins to look down onto the Savant headquarters, preparing to attack. Shredder says that he and Leo will lead the attack, while Karai and Alopex will follow up with a secondary strike. As Shredder and Leo walk off, Alopex tells Karai that this is all wrong. She should be the one leading the attack with Shredder, not Leo. Karai says that it's never wise to overestimate one's importance. They serve the Foot Clan, but a wise warrior always has an alternative plan ready. The next day, the remaining brothers all go out searching for information and help. Raph recruits Angel to join them while Mikey visits Woody for some information. Woody delivers pizzas and tells Mikey that he might not be much help, but there is one place that he delivered pizza to, and he overheard some Foot Clan guys mentioning something about a war brewing, but he didn't stick around to figure out what was going on. Donnie and April go to see Donnie's friend Harold, an inventor of sorts. Once Harold lets them in, Donnie explains that his family has run into some trouble with some really bad guys, and they're here to try and see if maybe they could possibly get a tech advantage. He knew that Harold was upgrading his anti-grav gauntlets and other things, and he just thought, but Harold finishes his sentence telling him he thought that he would help them out, right? Even though their personal problems have less than zero to do with him. How obtruse. April begins to think about how she thinks it's up, but Donnie stops her and tells her to just let it go. Harold says that he's been working on some upgrades to some things, but he hasn't tested them out yet. So if he did let them borrow them, he wouldn't be responsible if somebody got blown up by them. It would be their own damn fault, not his, you hear me? Donnie tells him loud and clear. Later, the Foot Clan begin to fly towards the Savant headquarters, and once they get close enough, Leo and Shredder jump in, crashing through the windows. Once they engage, Leo calls Karai, telling her that they have infiltrated the base and to wait for him to order the next attack. Karai says that she understands, but once the radio goes silent, she orders her group to move in. During this time, Splinter and Hobbs sneak up to the StockGen building, and Hobbs explains that this is what he needed him to do. Hobbs wants a mutant army, so he's going to need mutagen. So who better to take it than the little lab rat who used to have the run of the place, right? Splinter grabs Hobbs and tells him that he is only doing this to rescue Leo, and Hobbs better not forget that fact. Splinter makes his way to the labs, and Hobbs asks Slash if he's ready, and Slash tells him, yes. Back at the Savant headquarters, Leo chases Victor into a corner, and Victor says that only death will decide this war. Leo reaches into his belt and he throws smoke bombs out, telling him to count on it. Victor pulls out some guns, but Leo uses the smoke to run around and disarm Victor as the smoke clears. Then, Victor's holding a knife as Leo readies his claws. The two of them begin to fight and struggle, deflecting each other's attacks until Leo counters and punches Victor in the face, knocking him down. Leo then gets on top of him, holding his claws up. Before he can finish Victor, Shredder tells him to stay his hand. We have won. Leo asks him why let Victor live, and Shredder tells him that the battle is won, but not the war. Victor notices that one of the guns is next to him, and he fires it at Leo. Shredder rushes in, cutting off Victor's hand, and he tells the soldiers to bandage Victor up. They can't have him dying here. Back at StockGen, Splinter begins to leave the facility with the mutagen when a guard stomps him. Splinter turns back, throws the mutagen up, quickly disarms the man, knocking him out with his own gun before safely catching the container. He then looks at the man and he tells him to forgive him. Once outside, Splinter hands over the mutagen and he tells Hobbs that he has done what has been promised, so you had better deliver on my request when I call upon you. As Splinter leaves, Hobbs asks if it's finished, and Slash tells him, it is. He then flicks his cigar, telling Slash that they are done, and he presses a button. Back at the building, the alarms on the bombs that Slash set up begin to go off, and as Hobbs begins to drive off, Slash watches as the building explodes. In another part of the city, Mikey rides with Woody, delivering pizza to some of the places that Woody heard the Foot Clan talk about. Mikey heads up, knocks on a door, and the man that answers the door asks what he wants. They didn't order any pizza. And what exactly are you supposed to be anyway? Mikey looks at himself and he says, oh, this is just a costume, for Mikey's Turtle Pizza, where you get a shell of a deal. The man tells him that it doesn't matter. Pizza is pizza. They don't have time to stop for food before the Bigfoot meeting tonight. He then pulls out a gun, pointing it at Mikey, telling him that it seems the pizza will be on the house. And Mikey tells him, how about the face? And he slams it into the man's face before he can hit Mikey. He then throws the man onto the table with the other guys, and he states, so you're all going to a big meeting, huh? How is it that I can get one of those invites? Over at the church, Donnie tries to show Raph how to use the anti-grav gun, but he's having a hard time even turning it on. Donnie tells Raph it's really simple. How can he be messing this up? Even April figured it out. But before long, Mikey steps in, telling everyone that he knows where Leo's going to be. He totally knows! He was out helping Woody bake pizza deliveries when they found out about some big giant Foot Clan meeting coming up tonight. So after some convincing, he got the Foot Clan to tell him where and when. And all of the important people will be there, like Shredder,
Scales, guys,
Apple X.
scales.
And before Mikey can finish his
So many scales.
telling him, Leonardo, His sons are to be commended for banding together and having their hard work paying off. So now it is time to call on their allies to bring Leonardo home. Elsewhere, Leo is sleeping and dreaming, and in his dream he sees Shredder with him and his brothers all tied up. Men stand behind his brothers, and Shredder tells him to watch as his brothers are executed by the clan that he chose to dishonor with his treachery. Leo tells him that he didn't betray them. This isn't right. Something's changed. Shredder tells the men now, and Leo watches as his brothers are slain. He could do nothing about it. And as he cries, he hears a voice. He looks up to see the woman that he calls mother, and she tells him to hear her and see her. This is no place for him. Shredder returns his blade to Leo, telling him that it's time, and with one fluid motion, Shredder swings. Leo then wakes up screaming. Karai appears, telling him that she heard his crying. Maybe his new duties haunt him? She came to check on him to see if he was in any danger, and Leo tells her he bets, and he begins to get ready, asking if everything is ready for the meetup. She tells him, of course. Over in the hospital, Casey gets a message from April telling him that she'll be by soon. She's helping the turtles out with something, but before he can answer her, Angel calls him out. She tells Casey that she found his mask. As Casey looks at it, he tells Angel that his dad came by and tried to give him a new mask. But something was different. He was all dressed up, stating that he was clean now. Bunch of bull like that. Angel tells him, yeah, actually, that's not... He stopped drinking. He started calling himself Hun again. In fact, he actually came back over to take the dragons from her, and he was going to go to a clan meeting. Casey jumps out of bed and starts to get dressed, stating that he got a message from April about Leo, and that something about this meeting doesn't sit right. He's got a bad feeling, especially if his dad is involved. Outside an abandoned theater, the turtles and the rest of them begin to suit up to begin their assault. But inside, Shredder welcomes everyone, introducing himself as the leader of the Foot Clan and now the master of them all. Shredder has been calling all of the criminal groups here tonight to tell them that they will now be serving under his rule. And to show what happens to those who oppose him, he shows Victor, head of the Savant, sitting next to him. Shredder raises his sword, and while Leo watches, he starts to see the image of his mother, telling him to wait and see how this place is not a place for him. Outside of the theater, the crew gets ready, and Splinter says that there's now no more time for waiting. And Hobbs fires a rocket into a nearby car. Hobbs then throws in a smoke grenade, and everyone begins to charge in. Donnie lifts the car and throws it into the side of the theater, and the turtles start to make their way in. Inside, Donnie begins to fight with Shredder, and he uses the anti-grav glove to toss Shredder away. Leo then appears and begins to attack. Donnie throws him away, but as Leo begins to get back up, Raph tackles him back to the ground. Leo pushes Raph away, shouting, "This is wrong! This is all wrong!" Splinter calls out to everyone to retreat and take Leo with them, but soon Karai appears, firing an arrow into Donnie's gauntlet, destroying it. She tells him that tonight...
That's all the scales and tail done, guys, in the back part of the crocodile. Penguin is basically done, because there's nothing to do with the penguin other than the shading later. Look at the state of my hand. That's all pencil. Oh, God. All right.
Leo beginning to break from Kitsune's spell. Bebop and Rocksteady continue beating down on the turtles, joking with them about how easy this is. But Karai tells them to stop playing around and finish them off already. April then appears in the cloaking device that Harold made, and Donnie asks what she's doing there. She tells him, beta testing some of Harold's new gear. Works great, huh? Shredder then begins to pick up Leo, telling him to look around. He needs to fight and strike without mercy. Leo, however, asks, where is she? Where is Mother? Shredder smacks him down, telling him to rise and become the warrior that you were meant to be. Behind Shredder, though, Splinter tells him that he does not ever touch his son. Splinter jumps in front of Leo, and then he and Shredder begin to fight it out. Leo gets up, calling out to Shredder, but Raph trips him, telling him that he'll have to go through him first. Leo gets back up, stating that he will die now, and he lunges at Raph. Raph tells him, come on. He knows that this isn't him. He knows that he secretly named his swords Musashi and Kamazumi. He knows he doesn't like playing video games with Mikey because he always loses. He knows that this isn't him because he wouldn't easily knock his sword out of his hand. Raph then drops his side, telling him that he knows that he can't fight him anymore. He knows that he's feeling lost and alone, but we're your family, bro. Leo looks up and he sees the image of Mother, telling him that this is no place for him. The struggle between Splinter and Shredder soon ends as Shredder kicks down on Splinter's leg and punches it again. Shredder then holds him up by his head, telling him, we were once clan brothers. I was the leader until you betrayed me. The Foot Clan was your family before Tang Shin and his abominations that he calls children. As Shredder holds his claws to Splinter's neck, Alopex jumps on him, shouting at him, how dare you speak that name? Shredder knows nothing about family, only how to kill and destroy. Alopex then continues to claw at Shredder until she is hit in the chest by an arrow from Karai. Leo looks at Raph, telling him that he thought they all died. and soon the rest of the brothers gather around, and Mikey says, "Hi there, big brother." April calls out, stating that she doesn't have much juice left in the gauntlet, so they need to go now and get out of here. Mikey then begins to help Splinter up when Slash comes bursting through the wall, creating a way for them to escape. Outside, everyone begins to pile into Hobbs' truck.
Oh, sorry guys,
Splinter
trying to
tells
see
him
what
to
I'm
remove them from his
doing.
place.
Yeah, so I'm
Bob
doing the
tells
face
him
now.
to hang on, he's one more thing to do. So he pops the pin
The
off of
nose.
the grenade and tosses it out the window,
And the beak.
stating, "There we go." Later, after
And
getting
some
away,
teeth for the
everyone
beak.
regroups to make
You can't really
sure
see that, but I'll give you a
injuries
zoom
weren't
in
that bad. And as Splinter
soon.
reaches out to Leo to tell him that he's happy he's here, Leo pushes him off, telling him not to touch him. As everyone gets into the van, Leo walks off and takes off the black bandana, and he walks over to Slash. He hands back that and the claw to Slash, and soon the group leaves to go into hiding from Shredder. And that brings us to the conclusion of City Fall, but there is a lot more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle storylines to go through, and a lot more epicness that happens in this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and follow me on Twitter @ComicStorian, and Instagram @ComicStorian. I'll see you next time right here.
Okay, right. What's next? Something's next.
But I feel like I'm in some parallel universe. That's so weird.
What if Devil Dinosaur came to the current day and teamed up with
Okay.
a little girl?
Yeah, that'll work. Devil Dinosaur, let's have a bit of that.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we let a dinosaur eat them so that they become small digestible bites. And then I read it dramatically back to you so that you can see if you like the story enough to go out and buy a Devil Dinosaur comic book allowing the dinosaurs to live forever. All alterations of the panel, text, and images are to protect copyright.
It's a
problems.
lion,
Art is owned by
penguin,
respected
and
companies,
a
which may be
crocodile.
Marvel or it may be Moon People. I'm not quite sure.
Dolphin.
Our story begins on the
Bird.
Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Beak.
Lunella has recently had several applications of school
Well, that's what it is,
rejected,
it's a
but
mutant.
as she works on her latest
A lion,
gadget, she would
a
love for
penguin,
them to reject her after
you can have
this
some
one. Her mother
And,
calls out to her, telling her that it might actually help go to
crocodile.
school on time because right now,
Yeah, quick, without rustling. You know it.
Lunella quickly grabs her things and she rushes out the door using her roller skate shoes to try and make it to class on time. She arrives just as the bell rings and she takes her seat. But during class, her mind begins to wander as she writes out her latest
Some
gadget, the
limpets.
Kree detector. The teacher asks if anyone can tell her what the theory of evolution is, and then she calls on Lunella. Lunella gives her a rather long answer that none of the other children can understand, and then one of the kids yells, "Whatever you say, Moon Girl!" And the rest of the class begins to start laughing at her. As school ends, Lunella heads home and has dinner with her mother and father. And her father asks if she learned anything in school today, and she tells him no, she never does. Her father tries to tell her that it's fun, right? At least she gets to go see her friends. But Lunella tells them, what good are friends? Once she gets into a good school, she won't see any of them. And besides, she's too busy to spend time with them. Later, Lunella leaves and begins to use her new Kree detector to find something that can possibly help her. She thinks to herself that she needs to find it because of what's inside of her. She's an Inhuman. And right now, there's a Terrigen cloud turning Inhumans into something that's not really human. Soon, her detector begins to go off by a pile of trash, and she starts to move the trash around, and that's when she sees something glowing. And she decides that she's found it, the Nightstone. However, long ago, the Nightstone was an item of worship by the Killer Folk tribe, and they would sacrifice small folk to the god beast to protect them from the devil. But as Thornteeth ask to where their sacrifice is, they begin to hear a rumble behind them. And out of the woods, a member of the small folk comes riding in on Devil Dinosaur. The small folk tells them that they won't be allowed
Okay,
to get
so
in.
that's-
Too many small folk have been victim to this Nightstone.
That's
As
all of
small
the-
folk grab the Nightstone, he begins to hear a rustling behind him, and out of the bushes
There
comes three more
is
killer folk.
the
One of them says that the
lion,
small folk is the
penguin,
one they call
and
Moonboy.
crocodile,
The other one
guys.
tells Moonboy to drop the Nightstone. He is cursed when he made a deal with the devil. The three of them begin to close in on Moonboy, but back in the current
It took
time,
me a while.
Lunella sits in gym class, and
All
after
those
she gets
scales.
taken out in dodgeball, she figured it would be a
Penguin
good time
again.
to have a look at what she found.
What is a
She's not
penguin? It's
sure
just a
what it is,
blob
but
of
before she
fat.
can think about it any
So,
further, her coach calls
there
out
you go.
to
It's
her
got his
and
flipper
grabs
for
the
that.
Nightstone. The coach asks, "What
And,
is this thing?" Thinking
body
it's
of a
a ball,
penguin,
and he begins to spin
the
it,
head
but
of a
as he
lion,
begins to spin it,
beak
green
of a
light begins
penguin,
to shine on everyone. In the past,
obviously
the
still
three
the head of the
killer folk
lion,
begin to
tail
turn on Moonboy, and they
of
notice
the
that
lion,
Nightstone that he's holding
with
begins to
the
fade, and soon
tail
the
also
floor
of a
begins to
crocodile,
open. In the present,
powerful
Lunella manages to get the
back
Nightstone
feet
back,
of
but that
a
door
crocodile,
opened up in the past became a
and
doorway that the
some
coach
rocks, and
created,
I've put
out
a
of
few
it
details
came
in.
Killer
I'm going to
Folk
do
trying to
up
take
here
the
now,
Nightstone from Lunella.
and
Killer Folk
probably
working
do a little bit to the
unfortunately
sea.
portal, because out comes Devil Dinosaur. Devil Dinosaur quickly begins trying to bite the Killer Folk. Devil Dinosaur begins chasing them around until they all begin to escape, but instead of chasing them, he stops and he begins to sniff Lunella. He gets closer and he begins to open up his mouth to bite down on Lunella, but as he does, he ends up just picking her up by her backpack, and then he begins to walk away with her. Devil Dinosaur begins walking through the city, looking for the killer folk, carrying Lunella wherever he goes. She tries telling him to put her down, but he doesn't listen, so she comes up with a plan. While some of the officers try to shoot at Devil Dinosaur, Devil's attention is soon caught by a fluttering little drone. A drone controlled by Lunella. Devil begins to chase after her, and the second that she turns him down the street, the Nightstone slips out of her bag. She manages to catch it, but she ends up dropping the drone controller, and Devil goes back on his rampage, slamming into things. Lunella starts yelling at him that this is not good, and Devil begins to charge and runs through a building. Elsewhere, the killer folk begin to watch people on a subway studying their actions, watching them buy and pay for things. After they learn what they need, they spring into action, taking everyone's clothes so that they can put them on. Back with Lunella, Devil finally decided to let her down. She begins yelling at Devil until he begins to growl. She tells him that he's been at it all day. She needs to go home because she's probably going to be grounded. And as for the Omniwave project or the Nightstone, she needs that. Like, really needs that. Lunella picks up the Nightstone and says, okay, well, I'm going to go now. Thanks for not eating me. Bye. As Lunella begins to walk off, Devil begins to follow her. She stops and tells him no, he needs to stay here and stay out of trouble. And then he begins to look sad as she leaves. But a moment later, he hears Lunella call out, wait! He begins looking through the area, lifting containers and checking under cranes, but he can't seem to find Lunella. That's because in the shadows behind Devil, she's being held by the killer folk, telling her that she's in trouble now. The killer folk wait to see Devil walk away, and when he finally does, the Thorn Teeth begins shouting in their victory. However, while they celebrate, a car begins to go through, and then Devil comes charging back in and grabs Lunella. He puts her on top of a lamppost to keep her safe, and then he goes back to fighting with the killer folk. This is Devil Dinosaur, guys! One of them grabs the Nightstone and begins to run, and Lunella jumps off of the lamppost and lands right in front of the killer folk.
I'm going to do the details in a minute. I'm just on Instagram at the moment, guys. You can join me over there on Instagram. Again, my name is Blut084, BLUT084. You can check these pictures out. I've taken a picture of it, a close-up, so you can see a better picture of it. Purely because you can't always see what the best quality on this camera, because it is a live stream camera, and the camera on my phone is tenfold better.
They should probably be careful, but the girls end up laughing at her, throwing toilet paper and matches at her. So she runs into one of the stalls and then climbs into the vents to get away. She crawls through the vents until she gets to a part of the school that no one goes to. It's the home to her lab, which is also the hiding place for Devil Dinosaur. She tries to figure out what to do next, but time is the one thing that she doesn't have. The Terrigen Mist cloud is spreading all over New York City, turning Inhumans into things. As she goes on telling Devil Dinosaur this, Devil begins to smell something, and a second later the fire alarm goes off because there's a fire in the girls' bathroom where Lunella just was. She crawls out of the sewer to see her teacher and classmates screaming for help, and she stops to wonder what she should do. That's the moment that Devil Dinosaur comes breaking out of the ground and begins walking towards the building. Lunella directs him to crouch down next to the window to allow the students to escape, and soon, one by one, the students and the teacher make it safely to the ground. Then as the teacher gets down, a voice from behind Lunella tells her that was bad. Next time, leave the rescuing to the professionals, because there stands Totally Awesome Hulk. And he says he's been looking for this dinosaur for a while now. As Devil Dinosaur and Hulk stare each other down, Lunella tells them both to pay attention. The dinosaur's staying put. She found him first. Hulk tells her that this really isn't a discussion, and Lunella tells him that he doesn't even know what's going on. So the Hulk tells her to stop trying to tell him what to do. He'll have her know that he's the eighth smartest person in the world. Then he picks her up to move her, and Devil Dinosaur growls at him, knocking Hulk across the schoolyard. He then charges towards Hulk, and Hulk punches him, sending him flying into the other buildings. He then stops to pose for everyone, telling them he's totally awesome. Lunella then asks him if he's so smart, then what does he know about Terrigen? He stops and he asks why is it that she would be asking about that? Lunella tries to explain about the Terrigen cloud, but before the Hulk can really answer, Devil Dinosaur comes charging back in, knocking the Hulk towards a fire truck. So what does the Hulk do? Smash the truck on Devil Dinosaur's face. While all the kids begin to chant for Hulk or Devil Dinosaur, Lunella pulls out some of her gadgets to put an end to this fight. She runs in armed with her taser and extendable boxer glove and clocks Hulk right in the face, and then before she can continue, Devil stops her. Hulk begins to laugh, seeing Devil block her from the fight, and then he picks her up, so she drops the taser, and he stomps on it, shocking himself. Before Lunella can tell him sorry, Hulk drags Devil by the tail and begins swinging him back and forth until he's finally knocked out. She begins crying out, telling him that it wasn't fair, and Hulk begins to change back into Amadeus to try and console her. He tells her that technically she did assault the superhero. He's gonna let that slide for now. Lunella begins to snap at Amadeus, telling him that she's an Inhuman. She needs the Nightstone and she needed Devil to help her. He tells her, look, What does she think that she can really do? They already have the most brilliant minds in the world trying to work on a solution for the Terrigen Mist, and she's only a 9-year-old kid. That's when her teachers come out to take her to her parents, and as she walks away, she looks back at Amadeus, changing back into the Hulk to take Devil away. She thinks to herself, how maybe the Hulk is right. Maybe there was nothing there. Or maybe Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now that
That's enough
Devil
of that.
Dinosaur has
Right,
been taken away
let's
by
get
the
back to
Hulk,
what we were
Lunella
doing.
had to be walked to school to ensure that she didn't wander off. But with all of this worrying about the Terrigen Mist, she decides that maybe she just wants to lead a normal life. Maybe Devil Dinosaur being away is a good thing. And rather thinking about it rather in depth, she can't decide if that's what he really wants. As the day goes on, she sees that this is the first time that she couldn't easily find an answer to a problem. So after being put to bed, she decides a normal life wouldn't be normal for her, and she sneaks out. Everyone wants Lunella to be a normal girl, but she has big plans. And first things first, she needs to spring a big red dinosaur from a dinosaur dog pound. Devil Dinosaur made her lose the Omniwave project, but he did save her twice, so she kind of owes him. Once she gets down from her apartment, Lunella heads to her lab underneath the school to get information about breaking out Devil. Then the siren goes off, alerting the area that the Terrigen Mist has been detected. After checking the cloud's path and referencing the weather reports, Lunella sees that she's in the clear for tonight. Everyone, her parents, teachers, the Hulk, they all told her to do the right thing, but that was their idea, not hers. So it's official. She's going to get back the Omniwave project and she's going to free Devil Dinosaur. It's a job for Moon Girl. Lunella skates off into the night until she gets to the museum where they're keeping Devil Dinosaur. She sees that the guards are using stun rifles to stop him from trying to break out of his cage. The guards shock Devil, and the female guard states that it sounds like he doesn't like being here. The other guard says that he doesn't care what Devil likes. He doesn't like having to keep recharging their stun guns. Then the guards leave to go recharge the stun guns, and that's when Lunella makes her move. Devil sees her, and he gets super excited. She tells him that they need to be quiet-like. But Devil starts to tick out his tongue, trying to lick her. Lunella says that she'll forget that just happened. Now play it cool. So Devil licks her again. She tries to tell him to listen, and she ends up dropping her tablet and breaking.
It's funny when they
It's
turn
okay, she thinks to herself.
other
Suddenly,
animals,
the two
dinosaurs, whatever,
dinosaurs
into like
explode
pet
and
animals. It's so
That's
funny.
when one of the guards shouts, "We've got a security breach! Light her up!" All right, change of plan, she thinks. She needs to make sure that the timing of this is perfect. So she yells, "Roar!" And Devil Dinosaur yells, "Roar!" And then he breaks out of his cage. She thinks, perfect timing! And it can kind of work this way. Devil snaps Lunella from her line and begins to run out of the museum. Lunella tells Devil that it's time to blow this joint. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur style, and she ejects her spring shoes. The two of them start to run through the museum, with Devil destroying all of the exhibits in their path, and then he crashes through the wall to make their escape. Later, once no one is following them anymore, Lunella points to Devil to go to the river to reach Pine Barrens, because he might feel more at home over in this location. As Lunella walks off, she says that they're even now. The Killer Folk, Nightstone, Terrigen Mist, she can handle all of that herself. So she tries to walk off, leaving Devil there. And that's what she hears. Boom, 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 boom. Devil runs back with her. Lunella decides, 2 heads are better than 1 for this. The next morning, Lunella's mother wakes her up for school, yelling at her, stating that she swore she wouldn't be late for school again. Once Lunella gets up to get breakfast, her mother tells her to hurry up. Her father had to leave early for work today, so he won't be walking her in. She also gets an email stating that the school trip to the museum had been canceled. Something about an emergency or a giant accident or something happening last week. After finishing eating, Lunella gets up to leave, but that's when her mother stops her to ensure that she goes to school. Plus, there's been some weird news about the Killer Folk gang on the news. After dropping Lunella off at school, she begins to head back home when she sees the Killer Folk walking in her direction. She quickly grabs a newspaper so that they won't bother her, and as they walk away, she notices an article in the paper, and she runs off. Back at school, Lunella's mother pulls Lunella to the side and asks, what does she have to say for herself? She looks up and sees the paper is about Devil Dinosaur breaking out, and the picture in the paper shows her flying away with him. While her mother continues to yell at her, Lunella begins to cry, telling her that she
Put in
never
the
listens
birds,
to her.
because every
So her
scene
mother
in the
states
seaside's
that
got to
she
have
has a question.
birds.
Is it about her condition?
Are you going to draw normal birds? No, no, no. I'm going to cheat. Continue, PlayStation. PlayStation, continue. Sorry, it's gone dim because it can hear the thing speaking. I don't know why it's got no mics. No mics connected.
And she shouts, "No one messes with my mom!" And she pulls
Not the one
strings
I'm
on
using
her
anyway. The
backpack,
one I'm
sprays
using
it
is coming
through
from the
and
camera.
grabbed her in the face with soda. Once she breaks free, Lunella begins to run, popping on her skates, and she rams straight into one of the ones that was running after her mother. After knocking that Killer Folk over, Lunella reaches into her bag and through a Simon Says toy strapped to soda, she sprays all of the Killer Folk. One of the Killer Folk then shouts, "She is a more powerful wizard than Thornteeth!" But Lunella isn't done yet as she pulls out one more device. She tells them that she's no wizard, she's a scientist, and she begins to fire her sound gun, deafening the killer folk. They begin to run away shouting, "We don't need her!" Once the killer folk are gone, Lunella's mother runs up and hugs her, asking, "Are you okay?" She says she's great. She's going to be fine. But right now, she needs to take care of this once and for all. She knows her mother loves her, and she knows that her mother's afraid for her. But just know she's not alone.
Sea spray.
Back at the lab,
Everywhere,
Lunella begins to prepare her suit, telling
Here as
Devil
well.
to heat up. He's going to need his energy. They are going to
This
win.
will look a
They're
hell of a
gonna
lot
take
better
the
when it's
killer
coloured
folk
in,
to the
guys.
car, steal back
This
the
is all
Alien
again
projector,
just all
and
basic
use alien
sketching,
technology to
just
find
in
a way
pen.
to stop herself or anyone else from turning into an inhuman. Lunella and Devil head out, and Devil begins to climb between the sides of two buildings while Lunella shouts, "It's time for the hunters to become the hunted!" Up on the roof, the killer folk begin worshipping the Nightstone to the full moon, but that's when one of them mentions that they don't want to sacrifice. That's when they begin to hear a growl. And one shouts, "It's the Devil!" And then Devil Dinosaur climbs up to the top, roaring. The killer folk try to fight off Devil while one of them tries to escape with the Nightstone, but Lunella uses her extending arm boxing glove to grab the Nightstone. One of the killer folk then shouts that they must get it back, and another one says, "No, let Moon Girl have it. It's only brought them trouble. It's cursed, I tell you." All of the killer folk begin to run away from Devil while he begins to chase them, and Lunella says that if he wants to go after them, go ahead, you do you. But once Lunella takes off her headgear, she hears the Nightstone begin to make a sound. So she picks it up and she looks up to see the Terrigen clouds. She doesn't have time to escape, and soon the cloud begins to surround her. And once it moves on, the only thing that's left is a Terrigen egg. Devil comes back seeing the egg and he begins to sniff it. Without getting any response, he picks the egg up in his teeth and he heads back to the lab to wait to see what happens. And that is the conclusion to the first Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur story, BFFs. This is a fun little side story in the Marvel Universe that takes place in the Marvel Universe, but it seems to be taking place on its own at the same time, and I really am enjoying it. I hope you guys did too. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Comic Story, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so done the background, done the main animal, and that's the quickest I've ever done one. So yeah, I don't even need to put any tweaks, I don't think, tonight, guys. I'm pretty much done here.
All time. But I feel like I'm in
Ooh,
some
that's pretty
parallel
cool.
universe.
I've done it in less than 40 minutes. Beautiful. Normally takes me a good couple hours, or normally takes me an hour. So doing this every day, guys, is
Lunella was hit by the Terrigen.
so yeah, I'm pretty much done here, guys. So yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed it. Hopefully the skills doing this like I said, every single day here on YouTube, drawing has increased the ability that I've got. I had an ability to draw anyway, but it took me years to get any sort of thing on it. I'm now sort of reaching the end of today's stream. I might put a few tweaks in there, but I don't think there's much I need to do because all of this is going to be colored in shade. All of this will be colored in tomorrow, guys, because on Wednesday we always do the coloring. I might do a game in a minute because I've actually got a load of time left over. So yeah, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this. Check back tomorrow for some more inking, some more coloring going towards this picture, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. My name's Blut084, BLUT084. Art and Games. I'll give you a quick zoom in of what I've already done. But don't forget to come over to Instagram, where I'll be posting this for full videos. So you can see it in full. I will take a picture of this for my tablet, and then I will ink that over there. I won't bore you by making you watch the whole inking section of it, but I will come back and do some digital on Thursday and Fridays as well. This one is pretty much done, and I've really enjoyed doing this one so far. I do anyway normally, but this one has been actually really nice to do. So yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. My name's Blut084. Thanks for watching. Click links and my face, or the circle in the middle, to subscribe. Click links for more videos, or just go up into the playlists. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.